to look at the question whereby could we be peaking, like inflation, could we be peaking, or could the market be bottoming anytime soon because of the recent spike in the market whereby we saw a nice rally last week, and what about the inflation data that we are receiving across the board? Like, okay, now let's start with this. First of all, like, let's look at the key data that have been what have been causing the negative sentiment in the market. First of all, you know very well it's the inflation, whereby we hit over 4 decade inflation in the US. That has been so triggering since when we started as early as when COVID hit, and we have been trending since then. The inflation is the all-time high where we hit 8.54, as you can see right here, which was the highest in 40 years. Actually, we ended it right back in 1882, if I'm not wrong. We ain't seen inflation that much high late this time around it. 1981, 1980, that's where we end inflation at the levels that we are seeing. Now, we have seen a nice rally, and the market, like, it was signaling signs of inflation coming down. And now let's look and dive right into it and see what is the road going to be picking. So let's look at this chart right here, and it has been interesting. This article is from the zero range, and I find it interesting to share with you guys. If as well you want me to do this high quality video whereby I will be analyzing the market in such a way that in a broad way, looking at the fundamentals and technicals, and giving out some ideas on what I may be looking at over the time, you can hit that subscribe button actually, so you will help out in the channel, help me grow. And actually you can go and follow me right here on Twitter, that's meet Steve at karaoke01. Help me grow out. You can see I'm really trying out to grow a small community right here. We make money, we make wealth at our 20s, and actually that's all life is all about. Actually life is about money, and so let us try out new things. Help me grow this channel, help me like reach out the world, and yeah, we will make it. And yeah, that's all I say. Hit that subscribe button, guys. You can see I'm not yet opened the sub count, so you guys help me. I will open the sub count once you guys start subscribing, and even I will open it actually. So guys, subscribe, like the video, so that the higher YouTube algos can help me reach more people. So now look at this chart. What happens to market after peak inflation? This Goldman Sachs analyst, like let me show you a certain chart here. So what's interesting here, you can see like now so many people are not saving. When I say saving, people are spending money, and when we spend money a lot and the government is spending based on the QE that happened since 2020, we had so much printing of cash whereby the money which was being printed, most of it was being spent by the government, and there was too much money chasing small goals. You know what that translates to when it comes to business. Now, if you look at this chart right here, this is the graph of people personal savings versus the credit. So that tells us so many people right now are like not saving, they are borrowing more and spending over. Now we hit the 14 years mark, the lowest. So people are not saving. Like for 14 years, people, that's when they end down the same thing. So this is the graph, this is the saving versus the credit debt. So people are literally spending more. Now, if people are spending more, that's what now will fuel this chart right here, so that we can see in 40 years we in the highest inflation. So as people spend, we go higher and higher. So now this is the chart that Goldman Sachs you can see Goldman Sachs analysts always is predicting the peak of inflation over the since 1950s. You can see right here. So since when they have pointed out that I can say that they are good at picking it, because those such big investment bank, they know these things so well. So like right now, Goldman Sachs may, if we say and use the metrics from the peaks that they have pointed out, which of course does not point to the bottoming of the market. So you can see like right now in this article, we are having them pointing out the global, the US inflation may be peaking out over the short term. And okay, with that, it doesn't mean you go all into markets, like you go all in out into stocks or whatever. But yeah, this is a nice trend. You can see Goldman Sachs identified already the peaks above 3%, which is above the neutral, and the defend neutral level, that is 2 something. So like in terms of what you should expect in market as inflation peaks, Goldman Sachs, so it's the next chart that the market usually falls in the run up the peak. So what this means is that most of the time the market, the way we have seen the peak falling and the market falling, like even Bitcoin, you can see right here on the market cap of Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is trying to reclaim its half a trillion market cap, which is a nice level, as I had shown you in my previous video that we are at a very nice level. If that won't, we are at a very nice level. Already we have over 8 months, 8 weeks of sell off. Bitcoin have been selling off for 8 freaking weeks. That's very, very painful. That's a strong bear market. Actually, I have not seen it, but most bulls out there and most people, we don't realize we are in a bear market until it's too late. Maybe until the capitulation happens and everyone freaks out and we are taken out of the market, and boom, the market turns around and like you are left, and that's psychology, and like you don't make it, you find yourself trapped and you are stuck forever right there. So now let's look at the this index right here, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, which is for the tech. Actually this thing have been trending uh, in a bear market. Actually it's in a bear market. It's the one that is bear market being the first one, but the S&P 500, which is the standard one, actually is holding, and it just touched bear market another day. Actually it was on Friday last week, it touched the bear market and it was like going up back again. So if you see this thing has already dropped more than that percent, actually where we ate last week, at that percent points, that's a bear market. And right now actually it has tried and reclaimed most of its losses, and we are up again as much as 7%. 7%, with that coinciding with the fact that we are having the April inflation figures coming out trending lower. you know Trend is your friend until the end. So if we say that inflation is peaking out, we have to wait and see the next 1 month or 2 months, and we'll see. Now we know the trend will actually be the same as the trend that was happening over the past 2 years, actually since 2020. So the thing here that you have to know, guys, the market may be actually peaking out, but there are some case scenarios whereby the market trying and from fool people that it is peaking, but it actually happened to be some kind of, the market now was entering into the recession, whereby the data like Goldman Sachs happen to be wrong. That's why everybody can be wrong here, but we use the metrics to make decision. Now look at this one. 3 times, there were 3 times where it could have been a clear mistake to buy equities has the peak in the index 1969 and 201 and January and July 208. Actually, those times, two of these cases, it was because the economy was at an point where was entering into a recession, 1969 and 208. Those times they peaked, they were good at peaking, the inflation peak, just as I've shown you right now. We are trying to show that we may be peaking based on the data. And you know the data comes in, the data is based on month basis. So in that month, what was happening? So in this month, what is happening in the month of May? Are we trending lower or are we going higher? So that's what we look at, because that's one thing. Actually, we have political tensions, actually Russia war and other things happening. So yeah, sentiment may be not turning positive for the moment. We will just have to wait. Now the question, the elephant in the room here is, what will Fed do to offset the sentiment? Actually, what are we feeling? So now, based on that, we can wait and see. Now, let me show you another fascinating chart right here. The one that I've been actually pointing out, the one that has been helping me out to look what things happen. This is the 10-year treasury yield. Actually, I was waiting for it to 8 year. I started looking at it late in the 2021. That's when we end a nice rally, which has seen yield rising up. And since, actually, you guys know, since the start of this year to date, everything has been going lower. The stock market, the indices, Bitcoin, everything has been anything. This shows that this risk of environment, this thing trends up higher. The US Treasury yield goes higher, and actually that means the government bonds will be plummeting as well. So we have seen a case scenario whereby the government bonds are going down and the equities are going down. Actually, equity is going down. Any other risky assets class, that's cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, they will all get hammered. So this one has been trending higher, the yield, and actually you can see it has not hit target. Maybe you can see the reason as to why it has gone down around almost 13%. From the peak, it's going down, and we can see it's going to continue going low. Maybe that's a pullback before we continue to the upside. It has not confirmed anyway. So that's a nice one to look at over the long term. We'll see if it keeps going up. It's going up, everything will keep going down. So another thing to show you guys is you if you like this, if you like this content actually guys, and if you want me to make it more and more educative and more in such a way that I will help you and like show you like if the market could be turning around, what some of cryptocurrencies could I hold into my portfolio, some of which are safe bet for me. I feel safe bet and want to share this with you. It's that subscribe button, guys. Just do it. Just do it. You'll help out. Actually, see you in the next one and peace out.